Hey, thanks for clicking on my face. I'm John Stark from MacTheMovieGuy.com, and I'm back with another one of my COVID series of reviews. This is Lady Chatterley's Lover. And yeah, I'm a blind film critic, and I watch movies with audio description, so this is audio description on Netflix. And I now also watch movies with COVID. So if I sound weirder than usual, if I cough or sneeze or something during this video, I apologize. I still want to get reviews out, especially when it's a new film like Lady Chatterley's Lover, which just dropped on Netflix. So, I think this is a film Netflix is campaigning for the Oscars. I don't know why. I can't imagine this gets a campaign. First of all, I should say I didn't read the book. This is not a book that I'm familiar with. I do know that the book has had its problems with being banned previously. So based on the film, if the film really is a faithful adaptation, I could see why in certain time periods that it would have been banned. I remember the last time I heard a joke about it was actually on the Conners, when Darlene was setting up a free book stand and some mom ran up and was mad that her 12-year-old was reading Lady Chatterley's Lover. Of course, I didn't know anything about it. I just thought it was an old school book, and you know, just a classic, you know. But there's really not a lot of plot here. I'm sorry. There just isn't. I don't know that we ever really needed a film adaptation of this, although with the success of Bridgerton, we're getting a whole lot of films that look a lot like Bridgerton, and are very steamy and period and romantic and everything. It's brought sort of a resurgence to this genre, which we've already seen this year with other films like Mr. Malcolm's List, and now comes Lady Chatterley's Lover, which earned its R rating easily and quite often. Film stars Emma Corrin, who has been quite vocal about wanting a gender-neutral Oscar race in a year in which she has zero chance of being nominated for an Oscar. She also wants an Oscar. She also wants to eliminate it at a time when she is also not a voting member of the Academy, has never been nominated for an Academy Award. It's really easy to criticize something that you're not a part of in any shape or form, and never have been, and do not understand the process of. So that is my Emma Corrin thought of the day. But I did not let my thoughts on Emma Corrin as a person reflect this movie. I just don't like the movie. I think it's like 50 Shades of Grey, but like the original 50 Shades of Grey. Actually, if anything, it makes me look at E.L. James even in less of an interested way. I'm like, oh, so somebody even did what you did before what you did? Okay, well, never mind. Yeah, it's just a torrid love affair movie. Its plot didn't really grab me. It's just two people in a forbidden relationship for over 2 hours. There's no like murder mystery. There's nothing. I think for some people they'll love this. I think some people who just want a period romance with lots of sex, this will be your film. It just wasn't my film. I thought there was more to Lady Chatterley's Lover than this. I thought for it to hold up as a film over time, that there was going to be some grand, huge, interesting plot to it. Not really. Emma Corrin just plays a woman who, she moves into this house with her husband, who is kind of, I don't know, what's the word to describe him? Cold, overly stoic, distant, and the kind of guy that you introduce in a film where the woman is supposed to cheat and you're still supposed to like her, you know? He's that stereotype where it's not like he's the doting husband that it's not like Emma Corrin has everything that she's ever wanted. I should just call her Lady Chatterley, because that's who she is. But it's not like Lady Chatterley has this husband that's devoted to her and loves her at home, and they have this like great sex life, and she's getting everything that she ever wanted, and then still goes out and does the thing. Because in those films, then the woman ends up always looking in some sort of way like as being the bad person, because it's like you blew up your perfect life. You know what I'm saying? Like you had everything and you just blew it up for what? But in this, it's clear that she's missing something from her life, which she finds in the arms of the groundskeeper, played by Jack O'Connell. And they have lots of sex for most of the film. And eventually it becomes problematic, and eventually she starts wondering, oh, well, I want to be with him and not with my husband, and blah, blah, blah. And, the husband who owns the house and obviously employs the groundskeeper is none too happy when he finds out that his wife has been banging the groundskeeper, and it all becomes kind of like a thing. And that's kind of Lady Chatterley's lover in a nutshell. It's not a very deep film, I guess. I don't understand. I'm not going to try to compare it to the book. I'm not going to say that this is, because I know that to try to condense a book into a 2-hour movie, just a little bit over, I think it was 2 hours and 7 minutes, but that's like with credits. So it's probably just a little over 2 hours. Yeah, I'm not going to say that the 2-hour movie is the entirety of the book. Obviously, there could be some nuances that were left on the cutting room floor. This could just be the least interesting way to have adapted this novel, or the most tawdry way, you know, just focus solely on the sex and less so on character development or building relationships. There were characters, like side characters, that came and went that I felt like I didn't know much about, if anything at all. They just kind of showed up and had a little bit of impact to the story. Jolie Richardson is in this, and she's fine. This film is just so centric on this certain aspect. It's not really in a love triangle. It's just Lady Chatterley and her two guys. Because she doesn't really, at a certain point, it's pretty clear that she doesn't really love her husband anymore, and she's just so totally into her lover, the titular lover. Actually, in a weird way, this movie is about Jack O'Connell, because it's called Lady Chatterley's Lover, not Lady Chatterley. So Jack O'Connell is actually the titular character. Yeah. He's fine. Emma Corrin's fine. I mean, there's nothing really here. I didn't, for a film, I was expecting something. I was expecting, you know, an attempt at something. Oscar baity. You know, I also saw that this was Sony, and I think it's a Netflix exclusive. So I think Netflix bought this from Sony, and Sony just decided they didn't even want it anymore, which is not always a good sign. I don't think Sony actually released this theatrically at any point before. I don't think this is like Bullet Train, which they also just gave to Netflix. If I'm right, I believe this film, its first debut is on Netflix. So I don't think this was released anywhere else. So this is all for Netflix to campaign, and nothing will happen with this. Sorry, Emma, it doesn't really matter what categories we combine. You were better in My Policeman, actually, than you were in this. I just didn't think this film does anything. This film doesn't go anywhere or do anything. I didn't really like it. It didn't do anything for me. So it might for you, it didn't for me. So I don't want to just keep harping on that. I thought the audio description was fine. Except for the fact that every time, I'm starting to notice it more and more with sex scenes in movies, we're always thrusting. Everyone is always thrusting. Can we please find another word? Can we please shake it up just a little bit? It is the only way anybody can ever have sex by thrusting. I have heard that term in so many sex scenes with audio description. It's actually starting to be cliche. It's like, oh God, he's thrusting again. You know, like, it's just, I mean, it's probably what they're doing, but, you know, I don't know, pull out that thesaurus and let's find another word other than thrusting, because, man, I heard them so many times, thrusting, which is funny because I also watched a TV show today in which the same term was used. I watched the first episode of The Watcher, where Bobby Cannavale was thrusting. And I was like, it's this fucking word again. I'm not a prude. I don't care about the sex scenes. But damn, when we keep using the same word over and over to describe a sex scene, it's always somebody is thrusting into somebody. It's just, it really diminishes the word after a while once you've heard it so many times. Yeah, I guess I'm starting to get to that point with that word where I don't think I can hear thrusting anymore without going, ugh. Even in a film that I like the next film that I like, and I'm like, oh my God, I really love this film. This might be the best film of the year. And then it gets a sex scene and then they start thrusting. I'm like, God damn it. So, that's where I'm at with that word. So, I've had enough. I need shaking up of words. I need something else in this field. So, I don't like this film. You might. I'm just one person's opinion. Also, I'm me. So, I don't know who the target audience is for this. I'm going to guess women. I'm going to guess if you liked 50 Shades of Grey, actually liked it, not hate watched it, that Lady Chatterley's Lover is like the period. It's like the OG. I'm going to guess those are the people who will like this. So, I feel like my score is going to piss people off, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to give Lady Chatterley's Lover a D, because I did not have fun for 2 hours. And all of those actors have been better in other projects. If we're being really honest, they've all been better in other films. Even Emma Corrin. Yes. Even just this year, she was better in My Policeman. Not to mention her amazing performance in The Crown. So, this just did nothing for me. So, I'm going with the D. Anyway, thanks for sticking through this review and my COVID. Hopefully it wasn't too bad during this run. I am on Paxlovid, so it's doing its job. It's fighting. I might live. We'll see. And please subscribe. I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers by the end of the year. That'd be great. I know I just bombed this film, and you guys probably are gonna be like, "Oh, you didn't like Lady Chatterley's Lover? I'm supposed to subscribe to that?" Yeah, because I'm always honest. I don't go and look at it and be like, "Oh, does everybody else like this? I should like this too." I go, "Oh, everybody else liked this, and I didn't. Fuck, they're gonna hate me." Um, and yeah, so I have a website, macthemovieguy.com. You can go to the audio description project, adp.acb.org. It'll let you know what has audio description, where you can watch it. And you can go to the adna.org. That's the adna.org. It'll let you know who is describing your favorite films. So that's it from me. I will review something else while I still have COVID. And I will see you on the other side. So that's it.